And we are live. Greetings, Otaku Faithful, and those watching on Beamly.com. Once again, this is Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief.
Anime Rick here, Hannah the King, for the final small council.
Bass Nation here. I stuffed up. Sorry.
It's okay, cool. SMX Wing, Stannis fanboy. Let's do this.
Bass Nation here. Master of Coin.
Bonkai 922, Master of Ships for the final small council.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah, that's you, Jay.
Yeah, name's KJ. I'm just the extra in the background that doesn't die in Game of Thrones. What's up?
But there's a lot of extras that don't die. Okay,
Exactly.
Anyway, and we are here to bring you all both a Game of Thrones Season 4 finale review, as well as the final small council live discussion right here on Otaku Assemble Weekly. And as always, here to bring you the latest. It's so crazy. The playback from the stream just kicked in, like literally what, 5 fucking minutes later? I don't know. Anywho. So yeah, so as I mentioned, this live stream is pretty much going to serve for me as both my Season 4 finale review as well as the final small council. And so pretty much it's going to be following the same format that our earlier ones did. We're going to discuss multiple topics throughout the finale, give our thoughts on it, and yeah, pretty much just give you all a roundtable discussion about the episode as a whole. So speaking on the episode as a whole, let's start things off with our overall thoughts on the finale, and I'm going to let Rick start things off.
All right, overall, before learning the things that I learned afterwards, as the episode was what was presented to me, I did enjoy the episode. Some minor problems with a couple scenes, but overall, I think it was a good send-off to the season, as we had, you know, the ending of storylines that were set up in the past 2 seasons, and of course the segue into new storylines for the upcoming season. So I did enjoy the finale, though.
Yeah, I liked the episode a lot. Not gonna lie, I was pissed by lots of omissions of certain characters and storylines, but overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. The beginning was epic. That's all I gotta say. Just wait till I talk about it, okay? We all Stannis fans should rejoice. We did it. But yeah, the rest of the episode was pretty cool. I felt the Tyrion part was not as good as the books were, but we'll talk about it later. But good episode, good finale. One of the better finales of the series, so to me, so, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought it was a good finale. I think it is the strongest finale we've had so far. I really enjoyed it, but what detracted from me sort of was, I know how much better it could have been had they not made some certain decisions. But yeah, I think the David and Dan, the creators, nominated this for an Emmy, so they believe in this episode as well. Overall, it was a good episode again, but that Stannis scene was epic. I agree with Steve there. Yeah, it was a really good episode.
Oh yeah, overall, I liked the episode. I thought it was great. I mean, there was like, the only nitpick I think I would have is that I felt like I wanted a little more of the war between the Watch and the Wildlings. But still, even though I had that little nitpick, I still felt it was a very good episode, especially towards the end. It was really put very well. It's a great episode.
All right, what I thought of the episode, I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and the only real big problem I had, well, 2 big problems I had, was the ending. Like, I liked where she was going and all that, but I would have liked to see something else. And the other thing was no Littlefinger. I mean, you find out this season the guy is the mastermind behind it all, and I honestly think the season should have ended with him doing something big. That's just my opinion.
And so my overall thoughts on finale, once again, for a third consecutive week. I'm in the very small minority. I thought the finale was actually one of the worst, if not the worst, of the series. Thought it was boring. Thought it was extremely underwhelming, and it pretty much goes back to what my thoughts on the season 3 finale and what I've always been saying about, you know, finales. It's like your finale should make me excited for next season. This finale didn't do it, just like last season's finale didn't do it. Yeah, there were, once again, like, I agree. There's multiple things that you guys mentioned I agree with. I agree with, first off, the omissions from the book that should have been in the episode. That's my biggest gripe about the episode. Second, knowing about that, how good the episode could have been, like what Bass mentioned. Yeah, also I agree with Bankai about how the conflict up north seems to done over. So yeah, all in all, I just feel like they dropped the ball with it, honestly. I think it could have been done much better with very little ease, and that's not what we got. So there it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that's going to wrap up opening thoughts on the finale, and I'm going to go ahead and segue to Rick for our first topic of discussion.
All right. Well, in this episode, you know, we saw that Danny learned a couple things. First off, you know, that not all the slaves are happy with their freedom, and that some of them, being, you know, of their age, they can't find their place in this new world. And one of the slaves, who was actually, I guess, a teacher with through his master, he actually wants to go back to that life. And Danny had to make a choice, you know, either impose his freedom upon him or respect him as a free person to allow him to make his choice. And why I do see the repercussions that could affect Danny, because Barristan did say that, you know, the slave masters could use this against her later down the line. At the same point, I think Danny, for the man, made the right choice, because he didn't have to go to Danny. He could have went behind Danny's back, but out of respect, you know, for the woman, you know, she decided to go ahead and ask for, you know, this. And Danny said to have the slave master make a contract for, you know, more than a year and whatnot. So I don't know how to take that. I don't know how it'll play out later. But the big thing, of course, is the dragon stuff, of course. And with the dragons, Danny, you know, we learned that one of her dragons, the black dragon named Drogon, which I really do wish they actually showed the scene where she would name her dragons. He's been going around hunting and everything, and, you know, doing his hunting, he actually killed a child. He burnt a child alive. And when Danny sees this, she has to make an extremely hard choice. And that is, first off, she's going to have to find Drogon, because no one knows where he's at. But the other two dragons, she had to lock up in the catacombs to avoid this happening again, with, you know, to have 3 dragons running around. And I really did like this scene, because, for one, it reminds us of something that I think has been lost over the past couple seasons, that these dragons are not just weapons or soldiers or part of her army. These dragons are her family. These dragons are her children, because remember, Danny is cursed. She's barren, and she does have that motherly relationship with the dragons, and I think this scene did a good job of showing that immersion, because this was very hard for Danny to do, and you see the dragons crying out. So I really did like the scene, so I really like they kind of went back to that. So what are you guys' thoughts?
I thought it was ridiculous. You just said that, okay, here's my thing. And no, I'm not just picking on Danny, and no, I'm not just picking on the show, because I've always had a problem with people and how they deal with their pets. This idea that it's a member of the family. It's a fucking animal. Seriously, your dog that's running around in your yard right now, your cat that might be sitting right on top of your lap as you watch this live stream, y'all motherfuckers forget it's a fucking animal first and foremost. Domesticated, yes, but it's still a fucking animal. So no, this whole thing is, oh, it's a baby, it's a family. Not only are dragons fucking beasts, but they're the most dangerous ones of them all. And I don't call any fucking favorites. I don't pick favorites. Why? Because the Starks did the same thing with those fucking dire wolves, except they were smart enough to know, no, this is an animal. I can tame it to a degree, but at some point in time, I gotta let this motherfucker loose. You never saw them cuddling their fucking pups, or oh, Ghost is my bestest buddy. It's like, no, he's a comrade, but he's still a fucking animal.
But it's a bit different with it, because I mean, the story has set up to where the Targaryen bloodline is connected to the dragon.
No, Rick. The sentiment is the same. The circumstance might be different. The sentiment's the same. It's a fucking animal.
I agree with you that it's an animal, but you do know that there are people out there that don't treat their animals like animals. They treat them like members of the family.
That's my point. I've always had that problem with people. That's why I said I'm not just picking on Danny, and I'm not trying to use this as ammunition against the show. I've always had that problem with people. Always.
I guess that makes sense. It's just I can understand it more in Danny's case.
But from a psychological art and from that perspective, people with mental illness their doctors will prescribe them pets sometimes. Being that Danny can't have children and she looks at these as her children, it's kind of that scenario too. So I mean, that's how I look at it. You can look at it that way.
Yeah, she could. I mean, Danny can look at it however way she wants to. I'm telling you, it's a fucking animal. Just like Jorah told you, they're fucking animals.
I still like the sentiment behind the scene. And something that they haven't touched upon in a long time.
Going to the first part of your summary, with the guy asking her to be a slave again. Surely he could have, if his master wanted him, he could have just worked for him like a salary or something. Like he didn't need to. He doesn't need to be a slave, does he?
Yeah,
does that really make sense? It doesn't really.
I don't get it either.
He didn't have a place to go, remember? Because all the young slaves were beating the shit out of the old ones, and that's really probably why he wanted to go back. Getting jumped by these young kids. He knows at his master's house he'll have like a sanctuary, if you want to call it that, but he won't be getting mauled and attacked like he said was going on in these kitchens or whatever the hell he said.
Yeah. Also remember that Danny pretty much. I mean, that's the only reason why that's the only way she agreed to it. She was like, you have to sign a contract or whatever, and that's when Barristan told her, it's like there'll be slaves in every way but name. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, also you got to take in consideration it's an old man. He's been a slave all his life. He probably doesn't even have the first notion of what it is to, just be employed by that person.
He said that.
But then again, he's supposed to be a teacher, so. Yeah, but you know what they say? Sometimes common sense ain't that damn fucking common.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned too, like why he was a slave though. He still had to love his students, and he really liked that. So, I guess he feels he's too old to start a new life over. So that's kind of what I'm getting from it.
Yeah, he said that too, didn't he?
Yeah, so he said something along those lines.
Yeah.
You guys agree with their decision?
I can see how it could be a problem for Danny later down the line with dealing with the remaining slave masters.
They're gonna
they could definitely take advantage of
that. Looking at real life animal psychology, if you were to lock your dog up or something, and then after a month or two, like you feed him and all that, and then after a month you take him out, would he look at you differently? I honestly don't know. Would he trust you? Like, I don't know if animals trust, but would he be as friendly as to you? Like, you look at the case of Danny. After a month or so, you're looking at an animal's psychology. Does anyone know how that works?
No.
Well, I mean, okay, like I have fucking cousins who kept their dog chained up at all times. He wasn't locked up, like he was outside and he had like a post and he could run around, but he was never off of that chain. And that dog wasn't any more vicious or any more, you know what I mean, rebellious. I mean, that was his thing. It's like Sporty. No, you know, and that's how we always knew, like, oh no, if Sporty's loose, we got to put him back on his chain. Don't let him off his chain, because then he's going to get out. So, I mean...
I think there was a line used in Life of Pi movie, where the kid was looking at the tiger, and the dad got him away before the tiger attacked him, and and the kid's like, oh, he needs me, he wants me, he's sad, and the dad's like, you're just looking at your own emotions reflected back at you in his eyes. It's like what people want. It's what people want to think.
Yeah.
Going through. But I'm not hating on people who do that. I mean, I understand there are people who are like that, and I think it's different in Danny's case because she's been wiped away. She's like Rick said, she's barren. So I mean, I think it's more understandable in her case, but I get where Rick's coming from.
My thing is the way the dragons would act towards her now that she has locked them up. Would they change their perception of her? Like, do they have perceptions?
That's something that we'll just have to wait and see when later down the line. I mean, it's hard to say.
Well,
because I mean, like, we don't know. Obviously, she can't. I mean, it's very obvious. Like, and people are split about this, but she did make the right decision. She truly did, because it's bad enough you do have one dragon out there. You can't have three. And whether you like the dragons or not, or whatever, Danny made the best decision for her people. That she's under.
I mean, I will say this though. Another thing, the chain thing fucking confused me, because it was like they're in the fucking catacombs. I mean, if you seal that fucker up, can they really get out?
Unless there's like an opening, but I don't think there is an opening.
Can they like blow their way out? I guess blow it up.
I mean, I could see them possibly smashing their way out, but they'd have to get like really fucking big. I mean, that was the part of the scene that just really like. Does she really have to? Oh, also, and then the fact that seeing Emilia Clarke put that fake ass chain around air, and seeing the little gap in between the chain and the CGI, I was like, oh, why didn't y'all use a fucking prop and then rotoscope it out? Like, oh my god. Okay, you didn't know it, dude. It was obvious for me. I'm like, why not just use a fucking prop and rotoscope out?
Whenever the dragons are on, I just look at their faces and wings. I don't even look at their necks. I mean, or whatever.
And oh well. Moving on.
Yeah, I have nothing else to say about this, but I like the scene. I really did enjoy the scene. And it was nice to see Danny in on a low instead of always a high, which she always does.
Yeah.
But just
so that was a good thing too.
On that point, Rick, though, like when you're on a high, when you've got momentum on your side and you're taking place after place, and you've got that momentum with you, the high sort of makes sense. And I think her problem was settling down. You should worry about the delegations and stuff after you've made all your conquests. Now that she's settled down, it's going to be really hard for her to get back up and gather that momentum again.
This is true. I think she has a lot. She has a lot to learn. I mean, taking it was the easy part, and now keeping it and maintaining it—that's her story. I mean, she has to learn how to do all that now, and I guess that's what's going to happen going forward.
Yeah. So So let's see who's next on the list.
I am.
Steve.
Steve. Yeah. He jizzed this episode all over the place.
and I'll be honest with you, I don't understand why. I don't know why.
He saved the kingdom. Look, I got my Stannis shirt on right now.
Oh my god.
There you go. I got my Stannis cup just in case I'm parched.
Stannis cup? Oh my god.
Okay, now you're just being silly.
I've been biting my tongue all season long, and finally he showed up to save the realm. I mean, you guys can't. I'd like to see you guys say something negative.
Well, okay, no. Okay, no, I will say something. Okay, first off, Stannis scene was the first scene in this episode. Like, remember what I said in my opening statement? How I said it was underwhelming. Stannis' arrival at the wall, very underwhelming. Because here's the thing: it's like he shows up when Jon has to sit down with Mance, and then pretty much more or less wipes out every wildling that armed themselves by the time he arrived, and then takes in Mance. Burns dead. That's it. Big fucking whoop.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wait, hold on.
Wait. Can I throw something in there? Let me throw something. Why couldn't he get there like a day sooner? Just saying.
Thank you.
Why couldn't he get there a day sooner?
Jake, my man, this is your first fucking live stream, and already you're my favorite one on the console. No, okay, Jake, let me
insanity.
Wait, Jake. When you say how come he couldn't get there a day sooner, are you implying that Stannis might have should have shown up at the end of the fucking battle to be like the decisive one, so that it's like, okay, that's how Jon and them were able to beat back Mance, because Stannis came and saved their ass. Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, he should have got his ass. What was that? Like the Two Towers. Everybody's been comparing that the episode before the Two Towers. Stannis should have rolled up like the what was it, the fucking elves in the second one. He should have rolled up.
They're right here.
Gandalf and the elves.
They're right here. They're right here. No, they're right.
With the light coming out and shit, and it's Gandalf. And
Okay,
like,
look.
No, not that one. It was fucking. It was Gandalf wasn't there. He left.
he wasn't there, right?
Are you talking about Battle for Minas Tirith?
No.
The Pelennor Fields.
In the Two Towers. Helm's Deep. When the fucking elves showed up and shit.
Yeah.
No
Like,
elves.
if they did that,
You're talking about right before the battle started.
Yes.
Reinforcement.
Exactly.
Okay, wait.
That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Why
Let me
couldn't
say.
they show
I
up
want to
then?
correct. No, but Larry, you got to remember. This was only what he said at the wall was only a test run. It was a small battalion out of his army to see the strength of the defenses. That's why Jon was like, I need to go because they're coming back tonight. And if they come back tonight, it's a wrap. And plus, we all know why they changed that, how that was done. Budget. That's plain and simple. Budget.
Yeah. Because I was just about to retort with, didn't we already acknowledge the fact that in the books there are supposed to have been multiple battles? Like Jon and the Night's Watch were supposed to have like been fending off like a couple of fucking attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They summed it up into one thing and then did it that way.
But Rick, what I'm talking about is this. If we already know they're limited by budget. Okay, first off, budget is not an issue. Budget is not an issue. I'm going to say that one more time with what I'm talking about. Budget is not an issue. You want to know why? Because you got the same fucking thing I'm talking about, but you got it in 2 separate episodes. The only thing I'm talking about is instead of doing it in 2 separate episodes, do it at the end of 1 episode. That's all I'm talking about. So budget's not an issue. You still got the motherfucker. Actually, I tell you what, they might have even saved money because you wouldn't have to have seen all them motherfucking soldiers flood into fucking Castle Black on horseback. Once again, dude, they've already done this. They did it in Blackwater. All I'm talking about is just do another Blackwater. Jon and them are fighting. They're getting their asses kicked. Here comes fucking Big Bad Booty Daddy Stannis and Davos. Here come the reinforcements. What? Push back the fucking wildlings. Save the fucking day. That's it.
This wasn't okay. I get what you're saying, adaptation-wise, but this is not the way it happened in the book. The Night's Watch was supposed to have their day, their time to shine. They did it. Next episode, Mance Rayder was going to continue his assault, but they were saved by Stannis. And all these things I'm hearing are all technical budget issues. I understand that the event itself could have been better, and that it was better in the books, but what does this have to do with Stannis saving the day? What is this against Stannis? This is just budget issues.
Technically,
No.
Because he got 500 of the wildlings.
Listen, Steve. What I'm talking about is this. First off, the whole thing about budget and adaptation and stuff. Let's face it, that's the only real thing that's the only real subject of discussion because we're reviewing the TV series, right? Now, and then of course, if you're talking about a matter of adaptation, then yeah, you can't help but to bring the fucking books in here because it's not an original script. It's being adapted from the source material. But here's my point. If you just want to settle for that, by all means, feel free. But it was underwhelming as shit.
I'm in agreement with you.
It was underwhelming as shit, and it also came out of fucking nowhere because this is what I mean. We in season 3 with Melisandre, telling, with Stannis and party and company learning about what's going on north of the wall. All fucking season long, they mentioned the North once. At no point in time was there ever any fucking mention that that's where Stannis would even be fucking heading? Go back, rewatch the season, and don't tell me, oh, it was supposed to set up this big surprise. No.
I think it was. I disagree with you. I like that they didn't talk about it that much.
So
I actually like that. Like if I hadn't read the books, I would have been really. And I watched it with my friends and stuff. They were extremely surprised that it was Stannis that actually came up. But then thinking about it, they're like, he was the only one that actually took note of the Night's Watch being in peril, and that he actually looked like he cared about it in the end of season 3 with Davos and whatnot. So for him to have gone up there, actually, it makes sense. Like
no
one else.
No. For Stannis to go up there makes sense. I'm only talking about the way they built up to it. That's my only argument.
Well,
that's subjective, though. That's subjective. That's up to personal opinions, and like each to their own. I think that's what it's up to.
I'm in agreement with you, Larry, in lots of things. I think it could have been handled better, but I'm not here to defend Stannis's budget scenes. I'm just here to defend the man himself. He came and saved the realm. Could have been done better.
I don't give a fuck about that shit.
Well, you should. He came and saved the realm, and nobody can say anything against that.
Well,
just the way it looked, though.
Okay. What do you want? A cookie? You want a pat on the back? You want a lemon cake?
I think I deserve all of those and more. Yes.
Well, cheers.
I think the way they did it, though, it had such a Rohirrim vibe to it. Like when they were marching down, that was so cool. Like the way in Lord of the Rings in the Minas Tirith, when the Rohirrim came marching down, it just looked so awesome. The way the soldiers ran there, that was really good.
Yeah, it was like that, but the Minas Tirith was unbelievable, though. That was
the greatest. That was the greatest scene I've ever witnessed in my entire life. But
yeah,
it had that vibe to it, though.
But didn't Stannis? Mance say he sent like 400 dudes over the wall?
Yeah, he said he sent 400 over the wall, like along it.
Yeah.
Which, thank God, that fucking information came out because. Well, I mean, anyone watching this stream, I'm pretty sure, has seen my fucking review where I was like, Tormund and Ygritte's party could not have been the only fucking party he sent over the wall, clearly, because we got the fucking cannibals. So I'm like, where the fuck are the other parties, and why did they only send those 2 after fucking Castle Black, which was the, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Castle Black the most proficient, the most well-armed and well-fucking defended of the 3 castles along the wall?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main one.
Yeah, so I'm like, so what? You had 4 other parties, or I'm just, well, he said 400 men, so I don't know how many fucking parties that would have been. But it's like, what, you're gonna send them to weak castles? Why not focus your? No. Okay, y'all know what I'm trying to fucking say. I'm giving myself a headache just thinking about it. You know what I mean? But once again, that's another big ass complaint I had about the season. We don't spend enough time with Mance. We don't.
That's true.
True.
We do not. We spent the whole season with Jon trying to warn the fucking Night's Watch about Mance's plans when he didn't really know Mance's plans. He knew what he was capable of, but he didn't know what the fuck Mance was planning.
Well, this is the whole complaint about the season being split, the one book being split into 2 seasons. You get this whole thing going on. But yeah, I can agree with you on that.
Because, dude, remember, even before, like even in last season, Jon and Mance were together all of what, 2 episodes? They meet at the end of 1. They meet again. Okay, no, 3 episodes. They meet at the end of the first episode. They talk in the second episode, and then by the 3rd episode, at the beginning of the 3rd episode, is when they go their separate ways. Jon with his party, Mance with his.
What do you guys think of the Melisandre and Jon Snow sort of scene? Like, sort of.
Larry don't care about that. He don't want to hear about that.
Dude loves Red House.
Sorry.
That's for next season. And Larry won't be here next season.
Well,
That was actually one of my favorite scenes of the entire episode. I love that.
Yeah, I really liked that. They actually showed that. I'm like, because I knew it was like.
Just got up and left. Yo.
Moving on though. One thing that I want to talk, we're going to do that. I was right in that initially, Mance did not know that Jon went back to the Night's Watch until he saw Jon in his gear. And I actually really liked the conversation between Mance and Jon was kind of interesting because it was a new take on it to where it wasn't as black and white as it may have first appeared, which I did like. So, I mean, that was an interesting development.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just to reiterate, who knows what the hell Balin is doing? Joffrey, Robb, Renly are all dead. And you got hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. You got Dany across the world doing God knows what, wasting her time with all these people, and Stannis is saving the realm. That's all I gotta say.
I already said Stannis is looking real good right now. Looking real good, especially what happened at the end of this episode. Stannis is looking real good.
I don't know about that.
Nah, because Stannis, if he really was smart, he could take shit right now. If he sets up right with everything that happened at the end of the episode, I mean, Stannis could take this shit. He possibly could.
Now, he's got the army now. He's got the backing from the Iron Bank. But come on, this is Game of Thrones. You get all this power, you know what's gonna happen next. Something bad's gonna happen. I'm waiting for that shoe to drop.
Do you know
the shoe?
So what's going to happen to Stannis now? He's got an army with him. What's he going to do now? He's going to stay in Castle Black or what?
He's probably going to attempt to when I personally think they might go north with the White Walkers.
You mean
you confront not confront the White Walkers, but prepare for the White Walkers? That makes sense there.
So they'll go beyond the wall.
Stannis, I would actually plan to take the north from Bolton. That's what I would do.
Oh, that could work too.
My favorite character.
Man, get out of here.
Yeah. Ramsay is out of control awesome, man. I don't know why, but I just think he's fucking awesome.
I like Roose. Roose and Littlefinger are my favorites.
Yeah.
Both of you are.
See. That's insane. And my friends give me shit all the time for saying I'm a fan of Ramsay. They're like, oh, look what he did to Theon. Theon fucking deserved it. All right?
Yeah, man. Theon did deserve it. Theon deserved it. I
fucking traitor, man. As soon as he betrayed Robb, all that bad shit happened. So I blame Theon for all that. So fuck Theon.
That's true.
I like Jake. Jake is a man of reason.
Thank you.
A man of reason, okay. Liking maniacs. Reasonable.
No. I'm not saying liking a fucking. Okay.
Let's get on to my part of this. So yeah, the scene that I'd like to discuss is the Bran Stark and they're going to the tree beyond the wall. I like what happened, the way it happened in the books, but the way they did it in the show, I was just left disappointed. But just this whole thing that happened, just not to be mistaken, I love this shit. Bran's story is like my favorite shit that's happening like right now in the books. It's just so interesting. But the way they did it in this show just peed me off. I hated the fire bullshit. I hated the skeletons being all gimmicky, and I hated that Cold Hands wasn't there. And for all you show people that don't know who Cold Hands is, it's not a spoiler anymore because, I mean, they've already passed that period where Cold Hands was in the books, so it's not a spoiler anymore. Anyways, Cold Hands is this guy that when Sam and Gilly, when Sam killed the White Walker guy, Cold Hands was there, and Cold Hands helped Sam and Gilly out, and he rides this 9-foot elk, and he's like badass, and then he took Sam and Gilly to the war, and then when Bran Stark went to the war, Cold Hands directed, he was a navigator for Bran Stark and Jojen and stuff, and he took them to the tree, which makes so much more sense because somehow Bran and Jojen and all that know the way in the beyond the wall. They've never been to this area before, somehow they know the way to the tree. One specific tree in the whole region in the north, they know the way, and it would have made sense if Cold Hands was there. I didn't think it would have been that big of a budget issue. It would have been very interesting to include him in there. Another thing I want to say is that the whole mutiny and Night's Watch thing that we got in the books, it was Cold Hands who actually killed those Night Watch, not Jon Snow and the people in the Night's Watch that went up Beyond the Wall. It was Cold Hands. So you could have had Cold Hands doing that. We didn't have to waste so much time with Jon Snow and stuff going Beyond the Wall. And also with the skeletons popping out, and like when they reached the tree and the skeletons ambushing them, Cold Hands was the one that was fighting off the skeletons and gave them time to get into the tree. So it's just, they could have done this so much better, and I don't know why they didn't.
I have a question.
Okay, wait, real quick, Bonkai, I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
Okay. Now, for those of y'all watching this stream, for this portion of this discussion about Bran and his story and everything, I'm not really gonna say much, and that's because prior to the stream, me and Bass talked, and everything Bass just said, I am in 100%. Well, except for the fact that I like how it was done in the show. But everything he's talking about Cold Hands and about how it would have been, everything he just said, that whole little tangent, I agree 110 fucking %. I am in full agreement. My thoughts exactly. All right, Bonkai, ask your question.
Well, what I wanted to ask, now, I think I asked this somewhere else, about those skeletons. What are they?
Well, they're supposed to be whites that have just been under the ground for way too long and they turn into skeletons. But for some reason they've got because they're whites don't really have these cognitive process that we see in the White Walkers where they can sort of think. It's like these whites that we've seen before, they were sort of just dumb zombies that were strong. But they weren't really thinking and stuff. But these skeletons, they were jumping around, they were like sword fighting with them, and it doesn't make sense because that's not what we've been shown. It's like we've had two things, White Walkers, whites, and now apparently there's a third thing that we're sort of unaware of, or they haven't made clear.
But hang on a minute, Bass. Correct me if I'm wrong. To this day, I do not think the show has made a clear distinction between whites and White Walkers.
Exactly, they should do that better as well.
Or what are they called? Whites, or are they called like rights or something?
Whites, WIGHTS, whites.
Okay, whites, like night but with a W.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. They still haven't made a distinction between those two, let alone anything else.
Like last episode in the first 15 minutes, I was complaining about them non-stop talking about sex and shit. Sam and John could have had a discussion about whites and White Walkers. Like, there's something beyond the wall. Just give us something that's worth knowing.
In the show, they pretty much, they don't segregate like the two different species. They just make them, they're all White Walkers. They're all one thing. That's how the show treats them.
Yeah. Because when I first saw that, you know what I thought of immediately? Remember the movie Jason and the Argonauts?
Yeah, that's what I thought of.
That's exactly what I thought of. I thought of
me
those
too.
skeletons with the sword and the shield and the helmet. I was like,
It's like Pirates of the Caribbean as well, like the whole skeleton shit.
but
It seems so gimmicky, man. It's just
learning about the Cold Hand stuff and everything from Velez in the J Room when we were talking last night. I was disappointed. It did take away a lot from the scene because this whole storyline could have been done much better. Because what I do like about the storyline is that the payoff I think was good because we got introduced to the children.
Are you fucking kidding me? The payoff for Bran was good. They didn't explain a single fucking thing.
Finish what I was. You didn't let me finish my statement, sir.
All right, go ahead.
The payoff was good in that now we have a much stronger fantasy element that can be further developed as the show continues, which I think is something that I really want the fantasy element to kind of start heating up a bit because I mean we've had all this politics stuff and everything for the past couple seasons, but with Bran's storyline it can segue into adding more fantasy into it. So later on in line there's a lot to play with, and that's what I'm hoping in the future. But this whole storyline would have been so much better had they used this Cold Hands character and whatnot. I do totally agree. Because it was a lot, we basically only got like 3 or 4 episodes of Bran with his story, which is why I was surprised they even added it to this episode. I was expecting it to continue next season, but
I was surprised they did that in this episode too. Not to mention Jojen doesn't die in the books.
I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in agreement with Bass and Larry. I thought they dropped the ball on this whole thing. Cold Hands should have been in the book in the show. The scene itself was really kind of corny. Jojen dying made me chuckle, and the whole in the tree thing, when they were in the tree, I thought that was okay. The stuff before was just nah. I wasn't feeling it that much.
Dude, no. See. Okay, yeah, and this. Okay, I. It wasn't until fucking Rick comment provoked me that I'm forced to fucking speak up on this shit. But yeah, that was another problem I had with Bran's stories. That no, I don't care for mystery by omission. And what I mean is this: I don't care for writers, whether it's in novel or no matter what medium it is, novel, television, movie, radio, comic, have your fucking pick. Video game, have your pick. I don't care for people who write mysteries and they think it's a mystery just because they omit information. They withhold. A mystery is not a mystery. You can't make some. Okay, I don't see how people can be intrigued by mysteries where the motherfucker is just withholding information from you. No, the best laid mysteries are always the one that leaves breadcrumbs. They leave a trail for you to follow. That way, when shit happens, you could go back and say, "Oh wait, because that happened, and then this and that led to. Oh, okay, you see what I'm saying?" Yeah. And the shit with Bran. What the fuck are they trying to do? Is it supposed to be a mystery? Is it supposed to be intrigue? I mean, I don't understand it because, first off, Jorgen, creepy little shit, speaks so fucking cryptically throughout the whole fucking series. It's like, dude, layman's terms, please. Say what the fuck is on your goddamn mind. Stop speaking like this fucking prophet. I understand you're a seer, but you don't have to go around talking like one. Say what the fuck you mean.
Larry.
Then, no, dude, they kept going around with all this fucking cryptic language and all this shit, and then finally when we reach our destination, we don't even get a name, a title. What Bran, because we know Bran is more than just a warg or whatever. We know that. We know he's something else. We don't get a name. We don't get a title. We don't even get the motherfucker don't even introduces himself.
What do you want him? I mean, I get what you're saying, and I guess Bran's storyline through the series up to this point could have been handled better. But I mean, like, what do you want him? What do you want him to say? Like, my name's Dingus, and then end the season? Like,
well, actually,
I think it's kind of obvious what that's going to happen. Bran is going to be one of the children. He's going to be turned. He's one of the children. I think it's very obvious.
I mean,
it's very obvious if you just look.
He's had visions throughout the whole series of the past and all these weird things.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
I think those are the breadcrumbs. I think those are the breadcrumbs.
I was thinking
they're not good breadcrumbs. Go ahead, Bonka.
I was going to say, remember in like the previous episode where that one guy who was one of the cannibals was inside of a bird?
His mind was in
a ward. Well, isn't that what Bran is?
Yeah, no, Bran is something more than just a warg, because wargs, you know, they can do the whole animal mind control shit. But like Bran can see like the past, present, and future and shit. You know, he can hear voices, and you know, Jorgen can enter his mind and they can communicate and shit like that. So clearly he's something else, but we don't know what the fuck it is because we don't get a fucking name of what he's supposed to fucking be.
Ooh. It's too soon, but it's too soon. Like this is we're gonna eventually get it. I mean, Jorgen speaking.
Too soon.
Jorgen speaking in cryptic.
This is the end of season 4. For all intent and purpose, this fucking show is only going to get 4 more fucking seasons.
Season's halfway.
It's too soon.
It's halfway. It's too soon. Like, I mean, we should want that. Like, for him to be able to. Like, it looks like he's going to start what he's doing now, and for the whole series to be halfway. That's sort of how it is. A character starts off his character, and then halfway through, then his life starts going into this massive journey or something. And that looks like the way it's going to happen now. It's a 4th season, I don't know.
What, like, is this possible that who was the guy in the tree? The old dude that looked like Merlin with a beard?
He doesn't have a name. We don't know it.
All right, that's it.
All we know is that he supposedly said he was the Raven, the 3-eyed Raven.
Okay. Yeah. What if
mention that
he wants Bran to take over? You know what I mean?
That's pretty.
That's pretty funny.
All right, because that's what I kind of just went light bulb because of all the things that it's been pointing to, and Jojen leading them there, then the visions and all this power, and then a couple things you guys said and made me go, this old timer trying to make this kid. And what the hell did he mean by "you're not gonna walk again, but I'm gonna make you fly"?
Well, see,
No explanation. No explanation. That's what.
Well,
Once
yeah,
again, we're
but here's
speaking
the thing.
cryptically.
What? Why would you want an explanation of that in a season? Like, that doesn't make sense.
The
to me.
reason why he said, "I think you're gonna fly," is because you're gonna be able to go into the minds of certain,
Animals and probably the three-eyed raven and all that shit.
Raven, maybe dragons, if he practiced hard enough. Go in the mind of a dragon and burn down that King's Landing.
I mean, from my understanding from the lore, the children of the forest are the ones that helped the first men beat the White Walkers in the beginning. And I think that old man is probably one of the last remnants of the children of the forest, and he's going to pass on so that Bran can bring the children back so that can help beat the White Walkers. That's where I think the end game is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think in the future Bran will have any interactions with any of Daenerys' dragons? Potentially, I
don't know.
Can you warp into a dragon?
I think Dany is a key component to beating the White Walkers as well because of her dragons. But
there's 3 dragons. I mean, it needs 3 riders.
True. And
I truly don't know.
Well, because they're magical creatures. I mean, is that possible for a warg to take over, or?
I mean, Bran can go into his direwolf. He can go into animals. That's what wargs can do. So
they can't just go into random ass animals either. They have a specific animal they go into.
You guys don't like the mystery behind this?
I do.
Yeah, I think the mystery is awesome.
I think it makes a lot of opportunities and a lot of pathways open for the future.
Yeah,
I do like the mystery. I mean, we just got introduced to it. We can't get all the answers right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
just introduced.
How much answers do you want? I mean, it's not like the guy in the roots is going to come down and pull out a map and say, "All right, Bran, this is the war plan. You're going to get in a dragon. You're going to do this." I mean,
that'd be awesome.
Have the mystery.
I mean, I don't think anybody could.
Dude, all I'm saying is there was nothing there to hook me. That's all I'm saying. The old man didn't say shit and nothing happened. That's like, oh shit, I gotta tune in next season to find out what that's about. And for the record, before anyone even jumps to this fucking conclusion, don't make no mistake. Don't get it twisted that I want all the shit to be unloaded as once like a big ass fucking exposition fucking chapter, because Rick and Bankai can both fucking vouch for this. They know I hate exposition chapters. It's like, if you got exposition, you better pace that shit out. So don't get it twisted.
Damn, you would hate Hunter x Hunter right now, then.
Thank you. Rick, how many times have you heard me bitch about a Naruto flashback chapter that was all exposition?
You would have hated this chapter in Naruto? No, you really would have hated this chapter in Naruto.
Thank you. Case in point.
Like, Larry, would you be cool if, like, the guy gave him a vision, like one of those, you know how before he had the fast vision of, like, things of the past and shit like that? If he, like, did, like, a future kind of fast clip vision, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I don't even need nothing that fancy. I would have been fine with the motherfucker saying, "Hello, Brandon. My name is so-and-so. I am the so-and-so. I've been waiting for you." Cut scene. I would have been perfectly fine with that.
That's just, the way you said it just sounded funny, kind of corny.
What difference does that make? Like, he's a 3-eyed raven. Does it really matter if we know his name?
Like I said, nothing to hook me. Nothing to hook me. Y'all motherfuckers are, I mean, y'all been hooked. That motherfucking hook been in y'all gums for years. Y'all been hooked. Me, I'm just biting off that bait like, nah, fuck it. You not gonna, nah, fuck you. No.
Oh, God. That's so funny.
Alright, I guess going to my set of the parade, King's Landing. I'm not going to go into details of Cersei. There was a little scene with her. That was minor. That was minor. She had a good performance. Maybe she'll get an Emmy. Who cares? Whatever. Anyway.
I win. Bet on that.
Tyrion. Now, this was kind of interesting, I thought, because on several facets. Now, we already had like a live stream like last week about this, but specifically, we had a scene with him and Jaime, him and Shay, and him and Tywin. Now, the Jaime scene wasn't, and I could see some people were complaining about this because, like, how was it that Jaime all of a sudden says in the beginning, before the whole matchup with Mountain and everything, he wasn't going to help Tyrion, and now all of a sudden now he decides to help Tyrion. Well, I guess you could say, yeah, that's a problem. But the main thing about the part with Tyrion that I liked was when he was on his way out, Jaime basically told him that Varys was going to show you your way out. He's going to help you escape. And Tyrion doesn't go out. He decides to take a detour and goes into Tywin's room, and he sees Shay. No conversation between the two of them. All we get is just this scene of him looking at her, and then she just grabs a knife, and I was like, holy shit, and it's like back and forth, and he chokes her. Like,
You gotta choke
a bitch. Tyrion Lannister had to choke a bitch. And then he said sorry. And I'm like, and then he leaves, and he finds a crossbow. And as he's leaving, he goes into the bathroom, and there's Tywin. Now, this conversation was like, personally, I really didn't think Tyrion was going to kill him. But once Tywin said, whore, I knew if he had said that again, Tyrion was going to snap. Sure enough, he did snap. And he pretty much... And it was kind of a weird situation. I don't know if this is a coincidence that it aired on Father's Day.
No, they did that intentionally. They did that intentionally. They like doing shit like that to fuck with people. It's the same reason why, what was it, the season 2 premiere was on April Fool's Day, so that everyone would think that HBO was trying to put a prank on them because that got them more press. When in case, you know what? That was intentional.
Yeah.
I promise you.
So
because dude, like HBO does their fucking scheduling way in advance, and anyone who has anything to do with the show would have been put that fucking together. I mean,
yeah. So essentially, what happens is he kills Tywin. It was an interesting conversation they were having, though. Like, it seemed to me that I got from Tywin that he wasn't going to allow Tyrion to die. But it was a very, very, very strange conversation. But anyway, he kills him. He leaves with Varys, and Varys looks at him and says, "What have you done?" You know, and then he just takes him and he puts him in this little thing, and he's going to be on some kind of ship on his way out. I mean, overall, I did not expect him to kill Tywin. I really did not. I did not.
That was
especially with Tywin on the John. And I'm thinking to myself, shit's gold? Yeah, he really does now. Now that he's dead.
It was
yeah. I thought, no. But you were going to say, Baz?
Can I just say, did it really make sense that Tyrion would go out of his way when he is being rescued to go and kill Tywin? Because when he was in the trial and Jaime told him to keep his mouth shut and he would live through this, so he was going to do it. But then it got to the point where he was so enraged that he just couldn't handle himself. But in this instance, when he's got a second chance, when Jaime's telling him, all right, quickly, you got to go and you got to leave this place. What? I mean, Tyrion has got he's got a pass. Why would he risk that to go and kill Tywin? I mean, to go and meet Tywin, really know if he's going to kill him. And also, wouldn't Tywin's hand of the chamber have guards on it? Like, there was no guards, there was nothing like that.
Well,
I heard
from what I heard, there was information in the books. There was information that Jaime gave Tyrion when he fucking freed him. That provoked Tyrion to go and do that.
Which is what I was getting to. Which is what I was getting to.
And it was the whole thing about the Tyrion's first wife or whatever.
Wife. Yep.
Yeah.
The worst
But
omission.
did it really, does it make sense that he would go out of his way when he's got a second pass, and he's got no reason to go out of his way, really, without a sort of provocation?
Well, here's my thing. I think if you, I mean, do y'all really want to hear this shit? I mean, because this whole stream has just been y'all saying all this shit praising the show for the most part, and everything I say has something negative to do with the show.
Especially after I heard how this thing was supposed to play out, they really, I think this is the worst ball they dropped out of the entire everything, because Tyrion leaving on bad terms with everyone and killing his father would have been the perfect segue for Tyrion in the beginning, because it literally would have severed all ties with King's Landing. So the way they did it in the books would have been much, much better.
Well, here's the thing, and I don't understand why they did it. Well, I understand it, but then I don't understand it. Here's the thing: the reason why they omitted that. Well, actually, they didn't omit shit. We got that information in season 1, okay? But the thing was, the reason why they changed it up the way they did, I think, was because Tyrion is the fan favorite. He's the viewer's choice.
Yep.
And the thing is, that was supposed to be
getting justice, right?
What's the term I'm looking? The payoff. That was supposed to be the audience's payoff. And the whole time I'm watching that scene, you know what my first thought was? You just killed off your main antagonist. You just killed off your main antagonist.
There's another one. There's more.
No. I'm talking about main antagonist in the sense that all of the major action that has occurred in the story up to this point has been facilitated by Tywin. Who raised the army when Tyrion was taken captive by Catelyn?
Tywin.
Who fought the war against Robb?
Tywin.
Who initiated? Well, Littlefinger was the middleman, but who pretty much agreed to the alliance with the Tyrells?
Tywin.
Who set up Robb?
Tywin.
Who was trying to marry off his children to solidify said alliance with the Tyrells?
Tywin.
And who was pretty much running King's Landing despite Joffrey acting like an ass?
Tywin.
And who killed
He
him?
was the main antagonist in the sense that he was the active one. He was the one putting all the opposing actions. Like, you know, if you were to argue that the Starks are pretty much the protagonists in the sense that their actions are supposed to bring about peace or retribution or, you know, sort of restore the kingdom. Even you could throw Stannis in there too. If they are the protagonists, then that opposing action, that opposing force came from the Lannisters, and the chieftain was Tywin. He was the mastermind. Well, that's because we didn't find out about Littlefinger until this season. But even Littlefinger was in the shadows. If anything, Tywin was doing shit by an extension of Littlefinger. But who was still the one doing shit?
Yeah.
So you have a problem with him killing Tywin?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, I do. Because it's too soon. Who's going to replace him? Answer that question for me. Who's going to replace him?
Who do you think?
Ramsay. I pick Ramsay.
Ramsay.
Who do you think's going to replace him?
On that show.
Said what?
He's the craziest motherfucker on that show. But the only thing I hated about the Tywin thing is the death, man. Like.
Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. That was the second point of the episode. Well, the third point of the episode that I was like underwhelming. That's your main antagonist, and that's how he goes out.
Yeah, I didn't like the dark humor from being on the toilet and everything.
I mean,
me and SME went back and forth about this.
Joffrey got a public, like, poison in public. You know, Joffrey.
Okay.
Yeah.
and that's how Tywin goes out?
On the shitter.
My main complaints with all these Tyrion scenes was how they differed from the books, the omission of the story in this episode, how they handled the Shay scene, because she didn't just start attacking him. Yeah, she actually had a conversation with him. She was pleading with him. And then how they handled the Tywin scene without the information of the story before. But lots of the arguments you're bringing up, like, I don't really get behind them. I don't understand how killing him off this soon is a problem. I don't understand. I thought the way he died was funny.
Here's the thing. This is what's going to end up happening, more or less. Either, God forbid, Cersei ends up replacing him.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Well, I know that's what's going I know that's what's going to happen. And what I'm saying is, Cersei in the series, because like I said, dude, I've been pretty much reading a Song of Ice and Fire wiki all week. Cersei in the book, from what I read, is more. Remember earlier? I think it was in either the last Small Council or the one before that, where I said that I've heard that Cersei's character is more in tone with how she is portrayed in that first season. You know, when she's that fearsome sort of like dominant, don't take shit off nobody sort of woman. Remember, she talks shit to Robert. Okay, I've read that her character is more in tone with that portrayal, and so it makes me believe that she's more capable of assuming that mantle in the books. But the one we get in the show, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I gotta agree.
No. What I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that she can't become that antagonistic force. What I'm saying is, you honestly expect me to take that seriously? At least with Joffrey, we knew he was fucking nuts. You didn't know what he was gonna do.
Yeah,
Cersei?
The forces you're talking about, the antagonistic forces, who do you want them to fight against? Tywin basically finished, like you guys were saying in the earlier streams before, Tywin basically finished the war. He stopped Robb. He gave the thing to Roose, who is now getting rid of Balon. He finished Stannis for that one episode anyway. I mean, he's done his duty. He's done what he's supposed to do as the head of the Lannister family and the Hand of the King. I mean, it's just a different situation of circumstances now that he's dead.
What groups are left?
All I'm saying is, Cersei being the fucking captain of that ship, as a sorry sack fucking looking vessel. As a sorry looking vessel, my friend.
This is the irony, though, Larry. This is the irony. I predict next season we're gonna see the complete downfall of the Lannister clan.
Oh yeah, we will.
Shit. Yeah, that's what I'm predicting, and I would think that'd be something. I mean, Payback's a bitch. I mean,
Payback's a bitch.
I know.
Can I just throw this out there? Sorry, I apologize, but
no.
The whole Payback is a bitch thing. Do you think the Mountain will be involved with that? With the dude saying he will not be.
Is being treated by Dr. Frankenstein right now.
Exactly. He won't be. He goes on a fucking rampage, destroying all. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Dr. Frankenstein's taking care of the Mountain right now.
Yeah.
What we'll do in all honesty, what is going to end up being is it's going to end up being this sad ass sorry fucking excuse for a fucking family melodrama, because what's going to happen is, and I'm not talking about knowledge from the books. No. I'm just saying what's reasonable. Then again, this show isn't really known for reasonability. But anyway, you're going to have Cersei in the highest position of power she's ever been in, correct? Because she's more or less going to be, she's going to be Queen Regent even more so than fucking she was with Joffrey. Because at least she can control time. So this is what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Cersei is going to assume the most power she ever has before. The only other Lannister that's going to be there is going to be fucking Jaime. We already know their shitter of a relationship, or at least we did before she just completely tossed all of that to the fucking whirlwind and jumped right back in bed with the nigga who raped her earlier this season. But that's neither here or there. So what's going to happen is the only person that's going to have it within their right mind to openly oppose Cersei is going to be Jaime. There's going to be a falling out. She's going to piss him off. He'll probably abandon her. But guess who really ends up being the loser in this whole fucking thing? Tommen. Because he's going to get caught in the fucking middle over a romantic spat that has now gravitated to the fucking position of the Iron Throne. And he's going to be the one having to deal with this shit. It's like a kid being stuck in the middle of a fucking divorce. They never fucking end up okay.
Yeah, he'll be alright. He got fucking Marjorie, man. I don't see anything like that.
No. I'm not saying like he's going to get fucked over or anything like that. I'm saying he's going to have to bear witness to this shit. Because he can't just be like, hey, I'm the king. Y'all can't be doing this shit. Because he doesn't have the ball. I mean, say what you will about Joffrey. At least Joffrey was an audacious fucker. You know what I'm saying? Joffrey literally did whatever the fuck he wanted. He doesn't have the fucking audacity that Joffrey does, and he doesn't have the authority that Tywin does. So he's pretty much just going to have to bear witness to this bullshit.
Screw Tommen.
Hey, Tommen, if you watching this video right now, if I could talk to you in real life, I would tell you, take up smoking immediately. You're going to fucking need it.
Oh, God.
Do they even have smokes in Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm. They have pipes.
I got pipes. He's good. He's good.
Pipes. They have pipes.
You can get that Bravos. Or he'll be alright.
Start, man. Get you a nice fucking iron hookah, dude, because you're going to need it. Dealing with these crazy ass fuckers, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, it's funny. Yeah, I want to see somebody make that. I'm going to search that on Amazon.
An iron hookah with like with the swords and shit in the background.
Yeah, somebody probably actually made one. It's probably
and have like the holes, like the fucking mouthpiece is a scepter. And the base can even be a crown.
Oh my God!
Someone make that. Come on.
Someone make that.
Anybody make that? I want my fucking royalties.
Holy shit.
Awesome. But anyway, but yeah, so that's why I said, dude, it's like killing off Tywin now and killing him off that way. It really is just like, you know, I tried giving that fucking show a chance, but they just keep reminding me why I should have fucking dropped it in season 3. And it's like,
that was awesome. When I first read that scene, I didn't like it, but now, in hindsight, I really like how he died. I thought it was awesome. Tywin Lannister.
Fucking underwhelming as shit, man.
The execution, yeah, I guess maybe you're right, but just the way he dying on the shitter was awesome.
Get your best idea.
You know what it reminded me of? When fucking when Vincent gets killed in fucking Pulp Fiction, coming out of the shitter.
Oh, right.
It's like, really?
Hey,
oh,
that's what happens.
Now, if they did a DiCaprio in The Departed death, I'd be down for it. Like if he just
If it was something like that where it like literally like catches everybody the fuck off guard, even him, because it just comes out of fucking nowhere. I could deal with that. I could deal with that because then, huh?
Why would you want that? Don't you want them to have some dialogue? Like, don't you want him to know who killed him before he dies? I thought
you could shoot him once, out of nowhere. Then talk to him, say, "Hey, Dad, happy Father's Day."
Dude, no. The quick and silent assassination would have been much fucking better than the talk on the stool.
Nah.
I think we gotta agree to disagree, so let's move on.
I like the talk. Yeah.
Let's move on to the other topic.
You're up, Jake.
All right, we're jumping into it. The Hound and Arya. I gotta say this off the bat. I think the fight that happened in this scene between Brienne and the Hound, the one-on-one battle was probably the best singles battle that I've seen on Game of Thrones. Huh? And that's me. But I like the dialogue that kicked off the show. Not the show. The whole scene between Arya and Brienne. You know how they're two women bonding. Well, kind of in that moment.
They weren't bonding over shit.
They were bonded over swords.
They weren't bonding. Brienne was trying to throw down something, and Arya's like, "I'm not picking that shit up."
Yeah, no, at first they weren't getting along, but then like they started talking. The one thing that she said that sticks out in my mind, she tells the hound, you can take a shit later. People are here. Like, I don't know why.
I love that. That was funny.
Like, I was like, what the fuck? And then he just comes out. He's like, what the fuck's going on? Then Podrick's face said it all. He said, let's send out to the game, and all hell breaks loose. Brienne is telling Arya, I made a promise to your mother. Arya going, she's dead. Then the hound's basically telling Brienne, how are you going to protect her? Her brother's dead, her father's dead, her mother's dead. What are you going to do? Basically, he told her to fuck off. And that's when shit hit the fan. And like I said, it's probably my favorite and the best singles fight in the series thus far, because it got pretty violent, and I wasn't expecting that. And I saw a picture that somebody said, Brienne and the Hound are gonna see each other again one day and just have kids. I started laughing at that one on Instagram, but but the way it ended with the Hound getting thrown off the fucking mountain, I just sat on my couch with my mouth open saying, what the fuck? No. Then Brienne and Podrick looking around for Arya. They can't find her. She's hiding. She walks up to the Hound, and he's begging her to kill him. This I did like. I don't know why, I just liked it. She didn't kill him. She just went over, took the coin purse, even though the Hound was saying, I should have raped your sister, bloody, and...
He was just doing that to provoke her so she would give him mercy.
Yeah, like, even through all the provokes that he was throwing out to her, she wouldn't kill him. She just took the money, walked away, and that's the one thing you thought you would never see that Hound do, is beg. But can we all...
Clean warrior's death instead of just sitting there and dying and suffering.
Exactly. But I think we all can agree, he ain't dead. Let's face it, he's not dead. If we've learned anything from Game of Thrones, if they're gonna kill a character, it's gonna be fucking right in your face. The Hound is not gonna be dead. And I love this the line also when Arya's like, "Are you gonna die? Unless there's a maester behind that rock." Yeah, but come on, like. Does anybody else really think he's dead or is gonna die?
Because
I read ahead, so I can't really comment.
All right.
Yeah, I do, because there's no plot armor like that in Game of Thrones, really, for the most part. I can't think of any instance.
He's hurt badly.
Yeah,
But if he gets help right away, then he'll be okay. But hopefully. I don't want to see him go.
No. Like I said it in why I wanted him to be chosen for the character spotlight. Like his logic in the whole series is the most sanest of all the characters.
That was your suggestion in the
Yeah. Because
you know I didn't have a lot to work with in that video, right?
Yeah, and I said my man, but I thought I made that clear in my comment.
I was like, what the fuck is he getting at with that suggestion? Like,
yeah,
the Hound, really?
He's just like the logic he was throwing out. It was the most sanest out of everybody. But you killed him because I had to. Why'd you defend the Lannisters?
What's that background noise?
I have no idea. But the whole logic behind the guy is why I chose him, and I think I chose him at a perfect time. We were talking about this beforehand. It was in the episode when he was going into the backstory about the burning and how his brother did it. I'm telling you, the Hound is not dead. He's not going to die. He's a badass, and fucking A. That'd be a bullshit way to go out of all the deaths.
I mean, I didn't. It's like I said. I've been done with the Arya Hound scenes First off, this scene didn't make any fucking sense in terms of. Well, let me ask you all this question: how the fuck did Arya and the Hound get back on the road?
They turned around.
No. This is what I mean. They went to the Eyrie, and the Hound openly admitted, "This is Arya Stark. She's my captive. I'm here to collect a ransom." So, a force of the Knights of the Vale, armed and locked, allowed the Hound to leave with the high-born niece of their late lady and the younger sister of their now lady lord.
They don't know that.
No, they don't know that that's Sansa.
No,
It doesn't matter.
No.
Kidnapping is a crime in the kingdom to begin with, but you kidnapped a highborn, and you have a bounty on your head.
no, Larry, you're absolutely right on this. You're right.
You want to know why I'm right about that? Because they never go to the Vale they never go to the Eyrie in the books.
True, exactly.
They find out about Lysa's death at like a tavern or some shit. But the thing is, I came up with this fucking conclusion before I even found out that, you know, when I told this to a friend of mine, he was like, "Wait a minute, they never go to the fucking Eyrie." I was like, "Want to know how I can always tell it's filler?" This is common fucking sense.
Yes, true. I don't know why they didn't even at least attempt an excuse in that case. I really don't understand.
I don't think he straight up said, "I'm her captive."
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes.
It doesn't really matter what he said. He had Arya Stark, and that was reason enough to...
No. He said he was her captor, or that she was his captive, because the knight asked him, "Who the fuck are you?"
Sandow.
He says, "I'm Sandor Clegane. Girl's my captive."
Like I said, when she said Arya Stark, any excuse for getting away from that doesn't make any sense. So I'm in agreement with Larry. It didn't happen in the books.
Yeah.
They didn't even attempt an excuse in the episode as to why they got away or how they got away.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, also, the time continuity doesn't make any sense. How the fuck did Brienne and Podrick get that far if we are to assume that Arya and the Hound are in the Vale, which is that part of the country? How the fuck did Brienne and Podrick get there that fucking soon?
That's always been a problem within
They
the
have
show.
horses.
Yeah, they had horses that were stolen.
No. Look how long it took fucking Littlefinger and Sansa to get there, and they were on a ship. How the fuck did Brienne and Podrick get there that fucking soon on horseback?
Yeah, that's always been a problem with the show. Is the time
Pegasus.
travel, the travel of time and everything. I think that's been since season 2. It's been a problem.
It has. And then, like I said, my final deal on the whole fucking scene. I mean, honestly, the Brienne Hound scene. I didn't care. Why? Because I knew win, lose, or draw, Arya was never going with Brienne. I think she made that pretty fucking clear before the fight even started. So Brienne was only really fighting for her own self. And I'm gonna be real with you. I was surprised Arya showed up at the end because I was almost positive. I'm like, by the time they done fighting, Arya's gonna have escaped both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised she actually showed up at the end. I was like, oh, and she did stick around.
She had the opportunity to see someone on her death list die. I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
So yeah, so like I said, I really didn't care for it because it didn't serve much purpose. It was just Brienne fucking defending herself against a nigga who really didn't have much right to try to, throw his weight around and talking about he's protecting Arya and shit. It's like, it's a futile spat. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, man, didn't happen in the books.
I'm happy Arya's going to
that was another thing too. Yeah, that fight doesn't even happen in the books because the Hound, he gets like jumped by some fucking what are they? Are they like, I don't want to call them peasants, but they're fucking what are they? Bandits. Some shit like that.
Didn't that happen?
The Brienne thing didn't happen. No.
Yeah, the first Arya Hound scene in the season actually happened. I think that was the cause of his injuries, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was when the 5 people attacked them, and Arya didn't really help, and it was just Clegane versus the 5 people, and he got wounds, and then he eventually died out the same way, sort of.
Yeah. So.
No.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, KJ. Don't worry.
Jake's got something to say.
Oh my god.
So I can't get. I mean, and this will be a nice segue to pretty much my biggest complaint about the episode. So I can't get that at the end of the episode, but I can get Bran and Jon, fucking Grey Worm and Missandei, Arya and Houndfella, but I can't get fucking. Yeah. Why do y'all like this show so fucking much?
It's an okay adaptation on a book series I love.
Keeps me busy.
One of my viewers on Facebook said it best. They said, Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire readers have Stockholm Syndrome. And my immediate response is, please tell me you're fucking joking. Like, tell me you're not serious about that. He said, and I think he replied with half joking, half serious. That's fucking sad. That's just sad.
Well, compared to the other television series, because in my opinion, books in general are much better than TV shows. Just the amount of depth and richness you get in them. But like in regards to a TV series, this is much better than anything else out there. Or not everything else there, but it's one of the better shows out there. Definitely.
It keeps you entertained. Let's face it, Sunday nights.
It keeps you entertained.
When you say everything else out there, I was like, I got 5 fucking shows that are better than fucking Game of Thrones. So let's not start that discussion.
I had to correct myself there.
But yeah,
I
man,
can just 5 offhand right now.
do it.
I'm not going to fucking inside of fucking, because that's all they're gonna be talking about in the comments once I do that. Who is this? Oh.
No, but like us book readers, we mainly argue over semantics and we nitpick a lot. But just if I hadn't read the books, I would love this more than I do now. But
I think with to be truthfully honest, with if you didn't read the books, that scene with Arya and the Hound, despite the continuing problem of time passing, it was fine. And like I said, I liked the ending. And Larry, you complained of it, the series always having overly dark and doom and gloom. We had a happy freaking ending at the end of the season. Arya finally getting a fresh start.
She's not getting a fresh start, dude.
Yes, okay, she is. She's going to Bravos. All her ties to Westeros.
No. But that's because you don't know what she'll be doing. Well, no, you know what she'll be doing over there. You don't know what that entails.
Assuming she's gonna try to find Jaqen Dahar or something. But I mean, at least she's getting a fresh start. Like she's going into a new, and that's actually I think the theme of this season. If you really think about it, so many characters in this season had a fresh start, a new start, good or bad. Tyrion's gonna have a new start, good or bad. Good or bad Arya, good or bad Sansa, Littlefinger. You know, a lot of these characters are moving on to new phases in their life.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much the underlying theme of the season, if you really think about it.
But I don't give a fuck about any of the characters. Huh? That's where that argument loses water. I'm not invested in.
Well, then I mean that's you though. That's you. But I'm saying as a show as a whole, you can't. I mean, because this is the middle part of the story now. You know, going into the 4th book. I mean, that's how I look at it. I mean, it's gonna be a new side of the story. So I mean, who knows what's gonna? I mean, you know, obviously, because you read ahead. But I mean, us as TV show watchers, now we get to see what's gonna be new for these characters.
Yeah. So,
and I got a feeling for fucking book readers. There's gonna be a lot of new shit coming for you too. A lot of new shit coming for y'all.
Keep them on their toes.
I mean. If you look at
if it went page by page, panel by panel, whatever, wouldn't you find that boring?
Yeah, that's what The Walking Dead changes it up for.
No, actually, because the first if memory serves me correctly, the first 30% of the Watchmen film is panel by panel, and I wasn't bored. I didn't really get pissed off at the Watchmen film until they started making changes. I was like, what?
That shit was too accurate. It was almost like couldn't even breathe.
Yeah. I said that for anybody watching the stream who has not watched my fucking Watchmen review yet, go to my channel, look it up.
As someone who read the Harry Potter books.
Look, no. Actually, Watchmen is a pretty good example because my whole thing about liking the Watchmen film is probably the same reason why I think a lot of Game of Thrones, a lot of book readers like the series. That's the only adaptation you have. You don't have anything to compare it to. And that's pretty much my main thing with Watchmen. It's like, I got serious fucking problems with it, but it's the only adaptation I have, so I gotta kind of make do with what I have. But anyone who's seen my Watchmen review, and anyone who's been following my channel for an extended period of time, who've heard me speak about that film before, you guys know that, yeah, I like it, but I'm extremely fucking critical of that film. Really fucking critical.
Well, there you go. I mean, you understand then, book readers.
Well, no, because some book readers are critical, some are just in denial.
I don't think I'm in full denial.
I've seen both. I'm telling you, I've seen both extremes.
Bass and I I think we know what to be critical on, and sometimes we understand.
Oh no, y'all all in the good middle. You guys are Song of Ice and Fire fans that I would say are normal fucking people.
Yeah.
The motherfuckers at the extremes, I don't know what to call them.
Usurpers.
Nah, they're not usurpers. Because they not usurping on anything of mine. But they're like golems. It's their precious. and God forbid you say anything about their precious. It's like,
oh god. But wait, Larry, aren't you kind of like that with Superman though?
No.
Yeah,
because no. What have I always said about me being a Superman fan? Remember what I always said about being what's the term I'm looking for? A purist. What did I say about me being a Superman fan? What did I say? I couldn't be a purist. Why?
I don't remember. To be honest.
I'm a Smallville fan.
But when people say Superman's a boring character and stuff, you get a little upset.
No. That's not the point I'm trying to make. That has nothing to do with my argument. My argument is about source. My argument is about adaptations being faithful to source material. And anytime anyone ever tries to throw out at me that, Larry, all you are a purist, because that's what people tried to make this argument about this with me about, despite the fact that I haven't read A Song of Ice and Fire. But they were like, oh, Larry, you're a purist because you want every adaptation to be exactly like the source material. And I say I can't be a purist because I'm a huge Superman fan and I'm a huge Smallville fan. Smallville takes so many fucking creative liberties with that source material. It's ridiculous. I could not be a purist by definition. I couldn't be one. I couldn't. It would be impossible. If I was to be a purist and be a Smallville fan, I'd be a fucking hypocrite. I'm not a purist. I am not a purist. I love adaptation, but in that same vein, it has to be adaptation done well. That's the whole point, people. Adaptation done well. I'm done preaching.
Okay.
But But here's the thing, though. That is a nice little segue into pretty much like the final topic we're going to discuss for this, because we've gone way over time, and that's pretty much. I really want to talk about it, but I know that I don't want to talk about spoilers, but I do want to talk about this because there is a character that was supposed to have. There's a character that was supposed to have appeared at the end of the finale, because that character is introduced into the book series at the end of the third book, and that character was omitted. And I've read articles about why the character was omitted. I think it was a very poor choice. I was highly disappointed in it. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. That's the only reason why I turned on my fucking that's the only reason why I was watching on Sunday. You want to know why? Because guess what happened Sunday night?
The Heat lost.
The Spurs closed out the fucking NBA Finals.
Yeah,
and I wanted to
the Heat.
I wanted to watch that game, and I had to turn that game off to go to fucking HBO to watch bullshit fucking game of shit. And it was only because of that one fucking sequence. Actually, if you really think about it, book readers, 2 characters reemerge in said scene, if you know which that other character I'm referring to. Bass and Steve, do you know who I'm referring to? It's 2 characters that actually are reintroduced.
Well, I know how it ties in.
I posted it in the chat, but pretty much my point is this. That was the only reason why I was watching the episode, and that's why the status I posted on Sunday night, I was like, I'm sorry, but omitting that was a huge. I consider that a huge fuck you to me. I really did. Like that was the last fuck you I was going to tolerate from the show. I'm like, okay, I was already through with you motherfuckers. I was through with you motherfuckers after you killed Rob. Gave you a second chance. You fucked me over with Oberyn. But this is it. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice and 3 times, that's shame on fucking me. And I'm like, look, here it is, right here. Dude, not only that, these motherfuckers are talking about the character might not even be in the series at all. When I read that, I was like,
that I have a problem with. Like, they did omit her from this thing. Personally, I read the book. I already got the kicks out of it. So if they didn't show it, it's sort of a meh to me. But if they omit it completely, then I will be pissed off. But as of now, because she does tie into the story, like, she does have an effect on the story. And people that say she's got no significant narrative in this story, I didn't buy that. I didn't buy that because she ties in major characters.
But you read the same article I did, and you remember what Alex Graves said.
Yeah.
He said that when they were writing out season 4 and they were planning for the finale, they made that comment. That character is not significant enough to appear. Now, once again, that's not to say that the character won't be introduced next season, but that's the comment they made.
Yeah, I did. But Graves also did say that David and Dan are sort of still, like, sort of debating about it, but they don't see the significance to it. I hate that, man. I can't see them not doing this. I have to do this. Like, I would be really pissed off if they completely omit it. Really pissed off.
The omission this episode got me. It was disappointing, but considering that the scene should have had more than one character, there was more people involved, and maybe.
Oh yeah. Actually, yeah, there were a lot more people present.
So maybe contract, budget. I don't know. Okay, so I understood, but I was disappointed. But if they don't bring her back, if they don't bring this character next season, then yeah, that's just a big fuck you. I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, and you know what? And you know what? And this, I mean, yeah. Now, granted, like I said, I didn't mean to exclude Rick and Bankai, and I didn't mean to exclude Rick and Bankai and Jake, but I really do have to get this out so that my viewers will understand why it was, why it is, why. I mean, everyone already knows how I feel about the series up to this point, but like when I posted up that status Sunday night, I don't think it was really clear why I was saying what I was saying, and I want people to understand it because here's the thing. Not the vast majority, but the big things that happened in this season, I already was spoiled on. I already knew about that because I learned about that at the end of season 3. Joffrey's death, Tywin's death. The Oberyn thing my buddy didn't fucking tell me about. I wish he had, but he did. Really wish he fucking had. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pick a bone with that motherfucker as soon as the stream's over about that shit. But And then that thing about that character, that was the first thing my friend told me when he was like, well, Larry, you say you're not going to watch the show anymore, so do you care if I tell you what happened? I said, no. He said, okay, well, this happens. I was like, really? Tell me more. And he's like, yeah, this happens, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, well, that's not enough for me to really get engaged in the series again, because I don't see how that's really going to add much significance in terms of the effect that will have on the story. Because that's my whole thing. And that's another thing why I'm sorry, but to all those viewers and all those people who left those comments talking about, oh, Larry, you'll get your Avenger, and they will be payback, and they will be payoff, and stuff like that. If that is what you all were referring to, how are y'all not equally pissed?
Maybe that's not what they're referring to.
Well, I hope it wasn't the Tyrion thing, because anyone who watches my fucking Game of Thrones review will know I've never been that big of a fan of Tyrion. I've never been that big of a fan of Tyrion.
Maybe it wasn't him either.
Well, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about then, because I read up all the way until A Dance with Dragons. I don't know what the fuck y'all referring to. So pretty much, my thing is this. It's like, once again, that wasn't anything that really was like, okay, that reinvigorated my interest in the show, because given the course of actions in the story up to this point, I don't see how that character's involvement is going to change the course of anything. You know what I mean? The odds are against that character, as they've always been against the other fucking protagonists. But when that character didn't even show, I'm like, what? I mean, do y'all not get where I'm fucking coming from?
Yeah, I do, but I at least am holding out that it was a budget issue, or they couldn't get all those actors together for just one scene, so maybe they'll just focus on that storyline next season. I hope that's what it is.
Yeah, I hope so too, because that's gonna sound real bullshit if they don't put them in.
You know what? You should be allowed to lock your little sister in cages sometimes. I swear you should.
I don't lock mine in the cage. I just lock mine out of the house.
You know
that's not a bad idea either sometimes.
Yeah, you know what they should do for the next season that would blow everybody's mind? Not kill any of the main characters.
Well, they won't.
Think about that. What if they actually did that? Everybody like, what the fuck?
I don't think they will. They'll probably kill off a whole bunch of supporting characters, though.
Oh yeah.
You know, like characters that are introduced next season, they'll probably kill a bunch of them off.
Oh yeah.
Because it's like I said, dude, it's like anytime a fucking new character is introduced, their days are already numbered.
Yeah, the whole Oberyn thing. I was watching it with my dad, and like, I'm a wrestling guy, like a pro wrestling guy, not actually like a YouTuber. That's what my channel mainly consists of, shooting the shit on pro wrestling. And once he started doing the fucking John Cena, you can't see me, I'm like, fuck. I got up and I started walking out of the room. My dad's like, where you going? I'm like, standard wrestling shit. Watch, it's going to be the comeback. My dad's like, you stabbed the shit out of him. As soon as my dad says that, that's when the mountain starts fucking over enough. And I'm like, there's another good character gone.
So, yeah, dude. It's like I said. It's like all in all, like that was it for me. Like at that point, I was like, okay, I'm so fucking done now. And then, and you know what? Now that I have like read forward into like what happens in the next 2 books, there's not a damn thing that would make me want to fucking watch this show anymore. There really isn't. There really isn't. I mean, maybe an action scene here or there with what happens with Dany in book 5, but other than that, not a damn thing. Yeah, not a damn thing. And doing this, like I said, I've been disenfranchised with the series as a whole. All my favorite characters are dead. I should have never came back this fucking season to begin with. Enough's enough, dude. Seriously. Enough's enough of this shit. Yeah. So y'all can, I mean, by all means, y'all can keep watching. No. I want my Sunday nights in the spring back. Thank you very much. I don't.
If you're not enjoying it, man, drop it.
Yeah. There's plenty.
We already addressed this.
This was I do want to mention this, and this is pretty much going to be like my closing statement, pretty much. Having read what I did read online, I do agree with what Bass, what you said either last week or 2 weeks ago about it's a different experience when you're a book reader because you don't have to wait a year to get the information you want. Yeah. Now here's my thing. Funny thing, in hindsight, I think I can honestly say this. In hindsight, I'm not saying that if I had only read the books, I would feel differently. I'm pretty sure I would have fell out the series regardless. Granted, I probably would have at least finished the fucking book I was reading because I am that type of person. I don't just pick up a book and not finish it. If nothing else, because I mean anybody who, if you've seen my fucking bookshelf pictures on Facebook or any of my personal friends watching this fucking stream, y'all motherfuckers know when you come to my house, the first thing you see is my bookshelf because that's what I like to do. Like, look at all these books I read. So I'm pretty sure if I would have started the fucking book, I would have finished it. I'm not saying I would have kept with the series. But I think I can honestly say this. I think if I had read the books first, there would have been enough in the books to at least keep me reading, to keep me interested. You know what I mean? It's like I think I would have still fell out of favor with the fucking series. I'm almost positive about that. But from what I read and what I kept hearing about the way the books are written, it's like you want to at least want to keep reading because, like I say, dude, that Cold Hands thing, I'm sorry, dude. The second I fucking found out about that, I was like, I would have fucking loved to see that in the series. And if I would have ran across that shit in the books, dude, I'd have kept reading just so I could see what happens to him. I would have kept reading just for that.
Do you think, Larry, it would have been easier for them to do instead of a TV show, maybe like this would be weird though, like season 4 they make it to a movie?
No, well, here's my thing, dude. First and foremost, like I said, budget, all that shit. That's not an excuse with this show anymore.
Yeah,
they spend so much money on filler. Not an excuse. And this has been one of my arguing points for like the greater portion of the set. Well, no, this was my first. I first brought this up in season 2, and it only came around tenfold in this season. The pacing, that is the most legitimate argument, legitimate complaint I have about the series. The pacing is god awful. The pacing is horrible. And like I said, you can always tell the filler when you see it, and I can't help but think, like, dude, honestly, you could have done a Storm of Swords in one fucking season. If you would have streamlined everything, you could have fucking done it. I know you could have fucking done it.
It would have been an epic season as well. I can't disagree with that.
Also, dude, you could have very easily just elongated the fucking episodes. Don't tell me it's not fucking possible. Sons of Anarchy has started doing that. Like, they'll have Sons of Anarchy had, like, I think 5 hour-and-a-half fucking episodes last season, where they extended it by an extra 30 minutes, which technically is only really like 15 minutes because of commercials. But dude, an extra 15 minutes on every episode. They could have done the whole fucking season. They could have done the whole book in one season if they would have cut out all the filler. Also, they could have been able to really capitalize if they would have cut out all the filler with John and Danny in season 2, because that's how it starts. Once you start adding filler, you got to start adding more. If you'd have trimmed out all the fucking fat from Jump Street, we wouldn't be having this discussion. So pacing has always been fucking horrible. But my thing is, I'm not saying that, to be honest, dude, I'm not saying that they couldn't have done it as a fucking TV series. I don't think that's a problem. I will tell you this, though. In hindsight, it should have been animated.
Wow. Can you imagine it animated?
It should have. Of course, I can. It should have been traditionally animated. Yup.
Yeah, I can agree
A
with that.
2D animation.
Plus,
in
you
the
get all the
in the-
fantastical sights around there.
In the same vein, and like I said, it ain't got shit to do with being cartoony. Cause go back to the '90s. Look at any of you guys who was watching HBO back in the '90s. Y'all motherfuckers remember Sunday night, that animated block on Sunday nights on HBO with fucking Tales of the Crypt and Spawn and Duckman and shit like that. HBO's done it before.
Yeah, but adult animation in America is a lost art.
Really?
For adults?
Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob Burger, Cleveland Show.
Yeah, but all those suck.
But they're all
yeah, but they're comedic.
American.
They're
Okay,
comedic.
they're comedic.
And they're not like, can you? I mean, that's kind of style, but that's a different style as well. That's that comedic. You know, I would want if Game of Thrones was animated, I would want it in the vein of anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But that's not anime style. That's that American stupid-looking art style stuff that they do with those series. Like
Technically
South Park,
Korean, but okay.
very Korean. But I mean, I couldn't see anyone stepping up to that kind of project. You know, no, I only it's a lot. That's why I say it's a lost art in that sense. Or animated in the vein of the way that like The Hobbit was.
Oh, wait a minute. What about what? Well, I guess you're gonna make the same argument. Oh, everything on fucking Adult Swim is comedic, which
I don't watch
everything.
Adult Swim. I only watch Adult Swim. If I do watch Adult Swim, it's the Toonami block, which is very rare too.
Yeah, but
So I watch all the anime stuff.
No, I think I think the show all of these problems about budget and shit like that. Guess one fucking medium you don't have a problem with budgeting.
I mean, I agree, but like I said, I would want it in the vein of anime, if anything, and I don't know.
Well, actually, Rick, there was this one show. It wasn't big. It was on Adult Swim. Very, very, very little episodes. It was like a 1 or 2 episodes, like almost like I had a pilot, but he didn't continue it. It was something Barbarian. That's what I remember.
Yeah. You're talking about what is it? I forget the name of it. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That but that was like satirical comedy.
Yeah.
Like sword and sorcery parody, and B, that was the pilot. It only had.
Yeah, it was only.
It was a 2-part episode. It was a pilot. Yeah.
You know what?
Wait, not Hogarth. No, it wasn't Hogarth. It was anyway, go ahead.
You know, I don't think it's a coincidence that of the 4 seasons, the season that is the best season by far is the first season, and that book is almost to the letter as it was. And that season is almost to the letter as it was in the books. So, like, they could have done that with season 2 as well. They could have. There is no reason why they had to deviate. Like, literally, there's no reason why they had to deviate. And there's no reason why they had to deviate from season 3 as well. 14 episodes if they done in one season. Perfect.
Dude, and I even remember when season 1 was going on, motherfuckers were talking about filler scenes in season 1, and I'm like, dude, that was so fucking good. Like, dude, the one that keeps coming to mind because it's one of my all-time favorite scenes from the series, the Robert Cersei conversation in season 1. That was filler. That's one of the best written scenes in the whole series. Has one of my favorite quotes in the whole series. You know, she was the only woman I ever loved. Someone took her from me, and 7 kingdoms couldn't fill the hole she left behind. I remember that quote.
That quote was in the book, which I don't think it was in that scene.
Oh,
right?
whoa.
He said it to Ned, I think. I think he said it to Ned.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then. I just gave the show too much credit. I just gave the show too much credit. Y'all just proved my fucking point for me. Never. I'm done talking now.
Oh, shit.
Chaos is the ladder.
I think we're really in agreement. I don't think Bass or I, book readers, or at least us, were in disagreement with you there. We agree with everything you're saying. It's just I think our perspective on it is. I mean, I can still watch it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, y'all have had more fuck, and like I said, it's also you know it's a difference of personality. It's a difference of, like you said, interpretation and stuff like that. Because dude, Like I've seen many of fucking people flock, gush, practically orgasm over adaptations of source material that I love, and the adaptation itself is just bastard. Like, dude, people who love the Transformers films, I'm like, dude. My older cousin, who's practically my big brother, his son loves the Last Airbender movie, and every time I see him watch it, I cringe. I'm like, no, dude. He had the Halloween costume. He had the bow staff, which I'll give him credit. That prop bow staff is actually pretty well fucking crafted. I played with that thing. But I mean, dude, he loves that movie, and the whole time I'm like,
that was a franchise.
Is it true they're coming out with a part 2?
God, no.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Unfortunately.
No. Who's directing?
Shyamalan?
No.
Shyamalan, Ding Dong.
It made over 250 million worldwide, man. It was
because we got played, man. Just like After Earth, I thought that was gonna be good, but fucking
that was gonna be good.
Because I don't know, I like the concept. But I didn't actually go and see it because I heard M. Night Shyamalan was making it, but that was after it came out. My buddy saw it. He's like,
but I mean,
Shyamalan.
I mean, dude. So it's like, I like that is another thing, but that is another like a different perception, like you were talking about, Steve. But here's the thing, though. I cannot remember ever engaging in a material based off. Oh no, True Blood. True Blood was another one where I was strictly a viewer, but I had the same fucking concerns that the book readers had about the series, and I didn't even know anything about the fucking books at the time. So okay, no, Game of Thrones wasn't the first. True Blood was the first, I think. No, Aragorn was the first.
Oh God! Don't even get me started.
Actually, I don't know how many times I've been through this shit, but I've been through this shit a long fucking time. Let me just put it to you.
Aragorn could have been so.
Oh no, dude, yeah, Aragorn. Oh, Percy Jackson, that was another one. Didn't
Percy
read the books before I saw the
Jackson
movie.
Have done right. Literally could have been the next Harry Potter.
Yeah, it could have. Yeah, okay. So pretty much the point I'm trying to make, I'm not going to bore y'all with the details, but pretty much everything going on with this Game of Thrones shit, been through it. It's new to y'all because y'all have never seen me have to do this shit. Well, because y'all haven't been following my fucking channel. All my fucking anime fans know I've been through this shit already. But I've been doing this shit a long time. It's just another year. That's all it is. So anyway.
It was a good run.
Good run.
Anyway, so yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts on the episode, my thoughts on the season as a whole. Worst season. I can't even. At first, I thought I might put it alongside, like maybe it's as good as season 3. No, because Danny and John's storylines in season 3, I feel, were better than in season 4. Less filler, more progressive. So just based off of that alone, I can't put it over season 3. Nah. Yeah, by far, worst finale in my opinion. Worst season in my opinion. Yeah.
I thought season 2 had the worst season.
Season 2 was the worst. Yeah, season 2.
Season 2
Season 2 made no sense.
Well, I mean, going back to, like I said, the examples like John and Danny's storylines in season 2, I did feel were worse than in season 4, but season 4 was still worse than season 3. So that's why I can't say it's better than season 3.
Okay.
Everyone's story in season 1 is still the fucking best. It don't matter.
Yeah, season 1 is the best. So, hands down, no argument, no, it's factual.
Yeah, but anyway, gentlemen, please fill up 3 to share your final thoughts on. Well, yeah, it would pretty much be your final thoughts on the season as a whole.
Well, I had an amazing time this season. I loved reviewing this series, and it was an awesome experience. It's probably the most fun I've had reviewing this series in a long time. And yeah, enjoyed the ride and look forward to next year, where I guess I'll be doing the small council now too. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Wait. Why do you assume you'll be doing the small council? Because you want to do a small council of your own now?
Yeah. Well, a couple people messaged me asking me if I was going to. I said probably. Hey, you're walking away, Larry. It's no longer yours. You're walking away. Did you copyright this shit? Did you copyright it? Did you file the papers?
Well, first off, we're not going to have a debate about intellectual property because you would lose. Second, I do what you want, Rick. Do what you want.
It's just have fun, Larry. I'm just joking with you.
Just do what you want, man. Do you? Do you?
Hey, it's been a fun ride this season. It's been a fun ride for me personally. Interacting with all the YouTubers and everything with Game of Thrones. It's been a good time.
Fucking bastard, but do you?
Yeah, I thought it was a good season. Not their best, obviously, but overall I had a lot of fun. And thanks, Larry, for inviting me to these. These have been great. I know you didn't like the show or the season, but this has always been fun for me.
Yeah, hey, man, it's not your fault, man. I don't blame you.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, but it's been fun. I enjoyed it enough.
So yeah, my overall views. Season 1 was definitely the best. This season, I think, just in terms of things happening, like more memorable stuff, I can just recall the most stuff happening in this season. Season 2 and 3 were horrible for me, but yeah, just in general, a lot of stuff happened. I liked the season, although some of it didn't make sense. I wouldn't really remember all those logistical semantics later on. So yeah, I liked this season. I liked the way they ended it. I thought the finale was one of the strongest, even stronger than season 1 finale, because it did conclude a lot of the stories, and it also set up stories for next season. Yeah, and just in general, this whole small council thing's been awesome. Cheers, Larry. Thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, peace.
Yeah, I like this season. I like coming to these small councils, Larry and Rick. It's been fun. I would say, yeah, this had more moments in this season that really shocked me here and there. But I still, to some extent, I still prefer season 3 over this one. And obviously, season 1 was the best. But yeah, thank you for inviting me for these, Larry. This was been fun. Game of Thrones I liked it, like doing it. You know, I'll watch next season, see what happens.
Yeah. The overall opinion for me for season 4, I'll agree. It probably wasn't the best out of all of them. Probably because it had a lot to live up to with the way season 3 kind of ended. I like the concept mainly of the season, though. Overall, above everything, about how people were changing and going through the things, evolving into new people. And I don't read the books. All right, like we already talked about this, but as just a guy who doesn't read the books, I like where they're going with it. But if it gets to the point where they're just whacking everybody, like really whacking everybody, I'll probably be done with it. But overall, it was an alright season. Wasn't the best, wasn't the worst to me at least. And I just want to say thanks for having me on here. It's been fun. I mean, I've watched this probably every Friday, and yeah, thanks for having me on.
See, now that's a loyal fucking viewer right there. No, seriously. For that and the fact that, Jake won a spot on the small council with the, Spotlight sweepstakes. He was actually one, that was participating every week. You know what I mean? I won't go ahead and I want to give, we will all give Jake a round of applause.
Jake gets to choose the next series you review, Larry.
Say what?
Jay gets to choose the next series you get to review. You get to do a free person presence of any series.
Attack on Titan. Have you checked it out?
I have not checked out Attack on Titan.
Yo,
I did catch a clip from an episode, and Homeboy was going ape shit.
Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck is his problem?
Let me tell you this. I hate reading subtitles, right? I hate reading subtitles. I binge watched all the 25 episodes in one day and read all the subtitles. That's how good I found that series. And I can't wait for season 2 to come out. I'm telling you, check it out.
Yeah, but see, my thing is, it's like Attack on Titan. It's pretty much the same thing, like Walking Dead.
No.
Larry, trust me.
No.
See, hang on. Wait. That is another thing I do want to mention. It's going to be my final note on Game of Thrones because no one else has said this yet, and I need to throw it out there. Another problem I had with seasons 3 and 4 as a whole, they were overhyped as shit. And here's my thing. Anyone who watches anyone who follows my videos, you guys know I've said multiple times, I don't go for hyped shit. If something is overhyped, it will immediately turn me off of it. That's what happened with The Walking Dead. That's what happened with Dexter. That's what happened at first with True Blood. But that's what happened with The Walking Dead, absolutely. I've gone on record many a time saying that. That's what happened with Berserk. We all know the story. Well, Bonkai and fucking Rick know the story about that. And that's what happened. And that's what happened with Attack on Titan. That show got way too fucking popular, way too fucking fast. And I was like, nah.
I'm telling you.
I can't speak for the anime, but I've read the manga, and
the anime's better. In my opinion, the anime's better.
Yeah, I agree, Larry. There are certain instances where the manga it kind of fluctuates, but the anime, not too bad.
Larry,
I don't know, dude. It's really not.
Larry. Listen to me. No, I'm rookie and all, but dude, I'm telling you, it's fucking worth it. I'm telling you, I hate reading subtitles, and I fucking.
Larry, watch the four episodes, 2 hours of your life, 4 episodes.
Okay. So you say the 4 episode mark. If I'm not into it by the end of episode 4 episodes.
That's when it happens, right, Bonkai? 4 episodes, right?
I think it's rather 4 or 5.
It's the first 2 episodes.
Right, five, Larry, 5.
Go 5.
5 episodes, man.
Come on, Larry, 5.
Come on.
Do it.
You shouldn't let hype be too much of a determining factor when, like, just because something's hype doesn't mean you can. Yeah. Well.
No, dude, no. Seriously, I'm dead serious. Funny enough, I've always had that problem. Too much hype has always killed shit for me. Matter of fact, I made the same comment about Harry Potter. I said if it wasn't for the fact that I remember my 6th grade librarian read Harry Potter to us when I was in the 6th grade. By the time that first movie came out the year later, like I remember, I was like, oh, that's about the boy whose parents died and he was left by himself under the closet and shit. Dude, if I would have known how popular Harry Potter was before that movie came out, I probably would have never got into it. And I know for a fact, I've been saying this. If I knew how popular Song of Ice and Fire was, I would have never gotten into Game of Thrones. I've been saying that. I would have never gotten into it.
So you're a hipster.
Do you regret it?
No, I'm not a hipster. I'm not a hipster because hipsters reject everything popular. I don't reject everything popular. It's just that more often than not, things that are overhyped by the general public, I turn away. Why? Because my taste is not that of the general public in every way. You know, case in point. The shit about X-Men Days of Future Past that everyone loved so much about it, that's not why I praised that film. You know, everyone loves the action and the twist and shit. I praised it for the character building.
Yeah.
Well, do you regret not getting into Harry Potter?
Do I regret not getting into it?
I mean, getting into it, sorry.
Fuck no, I love Harry Potter.
Well, there you go. Can't let hype dictate everything.
Well, it's true.
Hysterical hype, dude.
Wait, Larry. You mentioned Dexter. You watched for season 1, or you just didn't fuck with Dexter?
I didn't mess with Dexter at all. I watched Hugo's Dexterity series.
Okay.
So I know what happened. I know the story. I know what happens in the series.
You know, the rise and the fall. The rise and the fall of the series. Okay.
Yeah. I never got into Dexter for that same reason.
Hugo is the only one that agrees with me on season 5, though. And that's what I love. He's the only one that sees what I see about season 5. Because everyone else hates season 5.
You know, constituency is good.
Yeah. Everyone hates season 5 for the wrong reasons. But I digress.
But my thing is, it's like Jake, you know, like for a minute there, Rick had me going. It's like, yeah, you get to pick the next series, Larry's reviews, and for a second I was like, if he makes a good suggestion, I might do it. But Attack on Titan, man, I don't know.
So you won't do the 5?
Yeah.
You won't do the 5? You won't do the 5?
Larry, I got it. Larry, don't even review it. Just check it out. That's all I'm saying.
Just check it out.
Check out. Just kick back, relax. Don't worry about fucking reviews. Take a nice little siesta today, you know, chill out.
Well, let me know, Larry. Just let me know,
check
though,
it out.
because
That's all.
Yeah, let me know what you think of it, though. Definitely let me know.
I don't know because I had the pilot on my DVR and I deleted it. I had it on it for like 2 weeks, debating it, and I deleted it.
And the thing that Attack on Titan on Netflix is subbed, and you don't like anime sub that much.
Well,
I can give you my Crunchyroll information. You can use my Crunchyroll, but you don't like subbed anime that much. You rather watch it dubbed.
I'd rather watch it dubbed.
It's better in sub though.
Well, I mean, here's my thing. Like I have no problem with subtitles because, I watch television with the captions on.
Yeah.
But it's all about hearing it.
Yeah.
I watch television with the captions on because I like to read. But the thing is, it really works when I can hear what I'm reading. When I'm hearing and it's like that's not what I'm reading. There's a disconnect, man. You know. I don't know if I can do it, bro.
Just watch it. Don't even review it. I'm telling you, just watch it. Don't review it.
Well, you can't jump on it right now because they're already past that on Toonami.
Yeah.
And he has to see that to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It was pretty fucking crazy.
I might. Anyway, so I'm not gonna prolong this any longer because we're just shooting the shit by this point.
Yeah.
And I need to log off and try to enjoy what the last hour and a half of my birthday. So yeah. So anyway, with that being said, this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief. I want to thank you all for joining me again this week. Final farewells.
It was a good season. It was a good time, you know.
No, I meant like this is Anime Rick.
Oh, Anime Rick, good times, all that good stuff. That's what I was getting to. Kind of tired myself. Don't hurt me.
SMX Wing Master Whispers, Stannis Fanboy. Good shit. Later.
It's Bass Nation here, Master of Coins. Thanks for having me again. Check out my channel. See ya.
Bonkai Knight 22, Master of Ships. It's been a great. I enjoyed this season, you know, to a certain extent. See you guys later.
KJ Buchanan coming at you, and hell of a way to go out. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. Thanks for watching. Game of Thrones. Pretty decent. Peace out.
And until next time, peace. Where's my stop, bro?